Now, I'm not usually one to make videos dunking on someone else, but in this case,
And then there's me with ADHD who can't focus for more than a second, so I procrastinate endlessly from sitting down to write the stories I want to. So, before you condemn AI art entirely, remember, this is the only way some of us can get that great feeling from making art.
I kind of feel like I have to. I have known a lot of people in my life who are artists in some way, shape, or form. They draw, or paint, or write, or whatever it is. And here's the thing. There's the people who are artists because they have art that they are passionate about making, and there are people who want to call themselves artists. This man is clearly the latter. Because yes, there is so much that can be frustrating about the process of making something, whether it be writing, which I do, or one of the many other mediums of creation that we are passionate about, and it's not always going to be easy. It's not always going to be fun. But the struggle at times has to be worth it. If you are someone who doesn't want to put in the work, you don't want to be an artist. You want to have made art. You want the praise. You want the success. You want the accolades. You don't want to be an artist. So thinking that generative AI is the solution for that is just telling on yourself and saying that you never really wanted to make art. You wanted to have made art. You wanted something outside of the process of making it because you don't actually have that passion for making it. Because if you did, you would understand that the process of making it is as important as anything else. It's more important because if you don't like the process of making something, you don't want to be the person to have had made something in the end. Not really. And this person in particular mentions it for his ADHD because he can't sit down to write. And I know so many people with ADHD who still make art because at the end of the day, it is something so deeply important to them that while it may be a hard time to sit down and start it, and they may not be able to do it as often as they want to, they still do it, and that's the big difference. He also talks about generative AI for people with disabilities, and I can't really speak to that as an able-bodied person, but I feel like if you have to use tools that are unethically sourced, and the one thing that always has been coming up with this kind of stuff, how bad this stuff is for the environment, you should be a little more skeptical on whether or not that is the tool that you should be using. Point final.